If you love carb-laden breakfast foods, but they don't love you back, you're gonna wanna stick around for this recipe. It is zero carb, high in protein, it is super simple to make, and it is fluffy like the Sunday morning waffles that you remember from your childhood. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Josie, also known as the ex-plant eater, an ex-vegan of 14 years who healed colitis on the carnivore diet. And I am back today to share another super fun recipe with you from my upcoming book, Coming Around to Carnivore, that will be out on August 11th. I'm going to be sharing my Sunday morning waffle recipe, and I created this recipe to bring you back to Sunday mornings when you're probably waking up at your grandparents' house, maybe when you were a kid, and your grandparents made waffles and pancakes, and the kitchen smelled like bacon and maple syrup. I created this recipe to be nostalgic like that, and it is one of my favorite recipes that I've been making throughout the duration of me being carnivore these past 4.5 years or so. It is super simple. It has under 10 ingredients. It has 7 to be exact. And these come out so fluffy like regular waffles. They taste like regular waffles. So I'm super excited for you guys to be able to try this recipe. So let's get into it. You're gonna need 5 eggs, 3 tablespoons of heavy cream, 1/3 of a cup of pork panko. If you do have regular pork rinds, you can throw them in a food processor and blend them until they become coarse, so that is an alternative if you don't have pork panko. You need 3/4 of a cup of bone broth protein powder or beef protein isolate powder. So my favorite place to get beef protein isolate powder is from the brand Equip. I do actually have a discount code for them. It's JOSI, and I believe it's 15% off their products. I do have bone broth protein powder on hand, so that's what I'm going to be using today. You're going to also need 2 tablespoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, which is optional. I know for me in the past, I sometimes haven't had the best reaction to vanilla extract or vanilla bean. It has made me lightheaded in the past, so it is optional. It does add some nice flavor to this recipe. If you are going to use it, I recommend using organic Madagascar vanilla extract. And lastly, we need 1 to 2 tablespoons of beef tallow to grease the waffle iron. So really, if you eliminate the vanilla extract and the beef tallow, because it's not an ingredient in the waffles, it's just to grease the waffle iron, this recipe only has 5 ingredients, so it's super simple. And I should just mention before we get into this recipe what special equipment is needed. These are things that just about everybody usually does have in their kitchen, but I'll go over it. You're gonna need a waffle iron, you're gonna need a blender. I have a super basic blender from Walmart and that works for me. And you're gonna need a hand mixer for the egg whites. My waffle iron is ceramic coated. I think ceramic coated is just the least toxic, so I do recommend that. But again, I don't have a fancy waffle iron. I believe I got this from either Walmart or Target or maybe even Amazon, so yeah. So let's get into it. I have been preheating my waffle iron already while I was setting up my equipment, so it is hot. Like I feel the heat emanating off of it. But if you are making this at home, preheat your waffle iron as the first step. And next we're gonna need our blender. So second step is to crack 4 eggs into your blender, and then the 5th egg we're gonna be doing something different with. I know, I'm using Vital Farms. I am not happy about the controversy that came out about them either. I'm actually not the one who does buy the eggs usually because I don't eat a lot of eggs. My fiance bought these and I don't think he even knows. But this is what I have in my fridge right now, so it will do. So again, we're cracking 4 eggs into the blender first. With the 5th egg, essentially, we're going to be putting the yolk into the blender and we're separating the egg white so we can use a hand mixer to make it stiff. Like, you know, when you make meringues, I think they're called. That's what we're gonna be doing with it to make this recipe a little bit fluffier. I hate when like a ton of the egg white gets stuck to the egg. You're gonna need a medium mixing bowl to crack the 5th egg into. A bowl about this size is fine. We're gonna crack it and separate the egg white from the yolk, and the yolk is gonna go into the blender. And I always manage to somehow break the yolk, always. As careful as I always try to be, I always break the yolk. Something versatile about this waffle recipe that I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video is if you do leave out the vanilla extract, you can also use it as bread. It's the perfect size for bread and the perfect texture. So I also do use it as bread when I make these. So I actually am going to be leaving out the vanilla extract today. Sometimes I'm in the mood for it and I will add it, and if I do get lightheaded from it, I just deal with it, but I'm not going to be doing that. All right, next up is to add the heavy cream, baking powder, and vanilla extract. So obviously we're leaving that out, so we're going to add the heavy cream and the baking powder. So again, that's 3 tablespoons of heavy cream and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So I do think raw is best when it comes to dairy, but I live in New York where raw dairy is not always available because it is technically illegal. So I always get lightly pasteurized heavy cream if I can. This is from a brand called Sky Top Organics and it's A2. So I do find I don't ever have a bad reaction to this. I use this in my coffee every morning as well. So it was 3 tablespoons. And now we're gonna add the baking powder. I use Bob's Red Mill double acting baking powder. I don't know how much of a difference the double acting makes, but that is what I'm using in this recipe. So just keep that in mind if you're making it at home. All right, we have 1 teaspoon and the 2nd teaspoon. So we're gonna blend this now for 30 seconds until everything is well combined, and then we're going to add the protein powder. It is important that you don't whisk if you were thinking that you wanted to do it that way, because for whatever reason, the beef isolate protein powder and the bone broth protein powder are so sticky. It is almost impossible to get all of the lumps out if you whisk it. So again, I highly recommend using a blender. I don't think it will come out right if you do try to whisk it. So again, we're going to be blending this for about 30 seconds. Then we're going to add the protein powder and blend for about another minute. And then we're going to add the pork panko. You don't want the pork panko to get super blended into everything and like fully dissolve into the mixture, because the reason I included it in this recipe is so it ends up having a slightly grainy texture. So we want to preserve that and put it in last. So I'm going to blend this now. All right, so I'm just adding the bone broth protein powder. I did already add 2/4 of a cup. Definitely use a rubber scraper when you do this to scrape down the sides, because it will get stuck to the sides, like dry clumps will bunch up on the sides. So you really want to make sure you're getting it all incorporated. All right, so this is the last 1/4 of a cup that is going in. And we're gonna blend again for about another 30 seconds. Forgot to mention this in the beginning of the video, but you might be wondering why this recipe doesn't call for salt. And you might have already assumed that's because it has pork panko in it. If you don't know, pork rinds are super salty. The ones that I buy are from the brand Epic, and so they are made with sea salt and high quality pork, like I think pasture raised pork. But yeah, they're super salty, so that's why we're not adding any additional salt to this recipe. If you don't add the pork panko, you know, if you like alter the recipe a little bit, definitely add a little bit of salt, like maybe a big generous pinch of salt to this recipe. This is the consistency that the batter should be at now. You can see that there's no dry clumps. So before I add the pork panko, I wanted to just note, I was just rereading the recipe and I remembered this. You can add the pork panko after you add this mixture to the egg white mixture that we're gonna whip up in a moment. And this really prevents it from blending into this mixture and really creates a more grainy texture. So you can blend it. It'll be less grainy in that case. Or if you do want it to be a little bit on the grainier side, like a waffle kind of is, you can just add it after we whip up the egg whites and mix this into the egg whites. You can add it at that step as well. I think I'm gonna do it that way. So next step is going to be to beat the egg whites, which I had set aside right here. So in the recipe, it does say we're gonna beat the egg whites for about 5 minutes. We're gonna be beating them until stiff peaks form, so it'll be for at least a couple of minutes. You might be wondering, why is it only 1 egg white? You could potentially add more egg whites and make this recipe even fluffier. And I do remember I experimented a lot with the amount of egg whites I did this with, and ultimately the egg whites end up deflating a lot anyway. but I do remember, I think if I added more, it had like a squishier consistency. So I do think that was the issue I was having. If you did want to separate like 2 egg whites though and use that, you can. It's not going to make too big of a difference. It might just make the waffles a little bit fluffier, but again, I don't think it's going to make too big of a difference. So this is the consistency it should be. I'll just show you with the beater on. And while I have you over here, I'm going to add in the rest of the waffle batter. And we're gonna wanna fold this in gently, because the rougher that you fold it in, the more that the egg whites are going to deflate. So I will just show you how I'm folding it in. Should be very gentle. You're really trying to preserve the fluffiness of the egg whites. On the other hand, sometimes these chunks of them just won't incorporate and you have to kind of coax them. You also do want to use your silicone scraper to scrape the bottom. All right. Just about all of the chunks are out of this, so we're just about done. I figured this would be the best angle to show you guys this last step. So we're adding the pork panko. I did crush this up already in my food processor weeks ago for another recipe, so this is the Epic Foods brand, but it is just in this freezer bag now. So this is 1/3 of a cup of pork panko. Again, we're just folding it in gently to preserve the fluffiness. Okay, we made it back to our original angle. We're gonna be making the waffles now. So I'm gonna grease my waffle iron now. I'm using Sulu Organics grass-fed, grass-finished beef tallow. You can use butter if you'd like, but I'm using beef tallow. This has been preheating for a while, so it is very hot. I'm gonna just let the rest of this melt in here. It will not take long. You can really use a waffle iron of any size. You can make Belgian waffles with this recipe. You can make mini waffles. The yields, from what I remember last time I used this waffle iron, I think it made about 6. Yeah, so the yield is 4 large Belgian waffles or 6 to 8 waffles if you're using a smaller waffle iron. This is obviously not a Belgian waffle iron, so it's probably going to be about 6 waffles. So you're going to fill up the waffle iron now. You're going to fill this bottom part of the waffle iron with an even layer of the batter, and it will expand, so don't overfill it. You can kind of coax the batter around. You can see it's already starting to puff up. Right, so I'm gonna close this in a moment. All right, and the hardest part is done. Now you just wait until this light turns on, and that's how you know when the waffles are done. We're gonna just be cooking the waffles now. Each waffle is probably gonna take about 6 to 8 minutes to cook. Your waffle iron will have its own way of doing things, but mine, while the waffles are cooking, the light turns on. When it turns off, I know that they're done, and they should be super easy to coax out with a knife. They should not stick at all. So if they are sticking and you open this, it probably means that they're not done yet. So close it again and let it cook a little bit longer. All right, so I'm going to finish cooking these and I'll be back with you guys when they are all done and I can show you the finished product. All right, everyone, so we finally have the finished product. This actually did make 5 waffles in total. My fiance ate one. But this is what they look like when they're done. They are literally, like, they stay so fluffy. It is so crazy to me that these are basically carnivore. I mean, unless you count the baking powder, because that's technically not carnivore, these are carnivore. Anyway, I'm gonna be sharing these with my fiance, so as tempted as I am to cut this down the middle and show you the inside, I'm not gonna do that right now. It's also going on 10 o'clock at night. So if you do make this recipe, let me know in the comments how you like it. I hope you all enjoy it. And don't forget as well, my book, Coming Around to Carnivore, it's coming out now in 9 days. That is so surreal. So if you haven't pre-ordered it yet and you want more carnivore comfort food recipes, the link is always in my description. You can pre-order it there on Amazon. Coming Around to Carnivore is not only just recipes, it goes over my story, it goes over why veganism isn't the ideal diet for humans, it goes over why carnivore is actually healthy for us, and then it goes into how you can do carnivore successfully yourself. It goes over all of the roadblocks that might happen, all of the issues that I had and how I overcame them. So it is a really great crash course in doing the carnivore diet if you are just starting out or you're carnivore curious. So yeah, again, just don't forget to pre-order, and I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. If you did like this video, don't forget to leave a like down below, and if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. I do have some other exciting guests in the work on my channel as well, so you guys can look out for that. All right, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video.